Hi, this is Beth, and welcome. I am so excited today to have a guest all the way from Barcelona, Spain. This is Juan Sánchez. Hi, how are you?
Okay, I'm fine, thank you.
How are things there? Is it evening now?
Now is now is evening, yes.
Well, I'm here in California. You're in Barcelona. We're both very lucky to live in such beautiful places.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Are you inspired by your surroundings?
When I write music, I don't really think about what is inspiring me, But maybe it's true that because I love the sea and I live by the sea, no?
Mm.
Usually when I compose music, I don't know why I think a lot about the sea, And also from my window here in my studio, I can see the sea, I am inspired. Even if I don't think about this, I think that I am inspired by the sea.
Yeah, I think what everybody has found or heard in your music is this peacefulness. And I think a lot of the people who have recorded your compositions have referred to it as peaceful piano. And sometimes it's solo, but sometimes you add instrumentation, right, across the two albums that you have so far, Rebirth and now The Silence.
Hmm.
Would you say you do prefer mostly solo?
Sometimes when I compose a piece of music, I think that, for instance, with Rebirth, when I compose Rebirth, I thought, okay, this piece sounds great as a piano, as a solo piano, no? But there are other pieces that piano pieces because I always start with the piano composition, no? And then sometimes I think it sounds nice, but I think that needs something else, no? And then I start thinking, I think maybe I start listening to the piece, and I think maybe for this piece I could use a cellist or maybe a vocalist, and this is something that I decide once I have finished the piano composition.
Mm-hmm. I think that one of the things that people find most interesting about what you're doing, you're taking your own style to video, and a lot of other people are recording your music and making these incredible videos.
Yes.
So how is it that you've got all these prolific videos out there on your YouTube page? I want to show your YouTube URL so that people can find you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's because when I released the first album, Rebirth, then I started receiving lots of emails from people saying that the music was really cinematic. That the piano, that these piano compositions, they were something really cinematic, and also they were telling me that they work great for their videos. They were trying them before releasing the video on YouTube. They were trying different music. They told me that they were using different musics, and they find out that my music was fitting very well for their videos. So they were contacting me. They were contacting me to ask for permission to use the music. And of course I say, maybe by word of mouth, lots of people they start getting in touch with me.
Right.
One thing I request when I give permission to someone to use my music for a YouTube video, I request that they put a link to my website and they create a composer. And then more and more people are finding my website, and they are asking me if they can use my music for their videos. And I say yes, because for me it's great, and also it's a very good promotional tool for me. So I always say yes.
Yeah, I think that's very smart because you've got this reputation now for being very video maker friendly, to working with people. Were you surprised at how Rebirth was so popular, and did that help you to, kind of come out of your shell more and start, thinking about album number 2?
Yes, actually, yes, it's true. When I released Rebirth, because when I released Rebirth, I didn't release the the album at once. I was releasing one track per month before releasing the album, the final album. And the first single was the piano composition Rebirth. I was very surprised with the reaction of people. They were saying, they are beautiful. In the beginning, I thought that maybe they were saying this because they were being polite, because there are lots of musicians that they are announcing their new music on their social media. And usually people, they say to them, it's very nice, it's very nice. Usually people, they never, if they don't like your music, they don't tell you, they just ignore you, and that's it, After a while, I started receiving messages and emails from people that they were bloggers, music reviewers, and also film directors, short film directors, YouTubers, and everything. And they were saying, music is really, sounds amazing, it's really good for my videos, it's really good, it sounds different, And then I start thinking, maybe there is something special in this music, And once I released the album, after releasing 9 singles, I was BT Fasmer, the famous blogger, he recommended me to release the album, And I said, because I wasn't really planning to release an album. I thought, okay, now I thought that albums were something from the past,
Right. Good job, BT.
BT told me to release the album, And then I did, Because he said, if you have an album, then you have something to show to the press. And once I released the album, then I start sending it to press people and radio people. And to my surprise, I was getting very good reviews, and also I was getting my music on radios, online radios. And the response has been really, really good. So, and now that I have the second album, No the Silence, this response, I think, is even better.
A shout out to BT for his helpfulness and encouragement. I'm so glad. And I know that that's a big part of your story too, is about, overcoming your shyness of performing and putting yourself out there. How did you get to that point? What kind of a path did you have personally?
Well, it's because it's true that in the past I used to be really shy, and when I was young, I used to play keyboards with bands, and we were performing, and I remember that I was getting quite nervous, and I wasn't really the center of attention, because usually it's the singer, in a band, I was
Mm-hmm.
playing keyboards in the background, but I was always feeling nervous and everything. And then when I started composing music, because I always wanted to be a professional composer, no? And
Mm-hmm.
what I really wanted to be was a pianist and composer and pianist, because I always loved piano music. I didn't see myself like a performer, because I thought I am too shy not to be in front of, to go in a stage in front of people. I think I don't see myself like that. I see myself more like a composer who is working in his studio and making music for the commentaries. So I start doing that. No, I start creating at that time, because I was younger. I was listening a lot uh, ambient, chill out, electronic music, and I started doing
Mm-hmm.
that type of music. And I was getting jobs as a composer for this type of music. And this is what I did for about maybe 5 years. I started creating sounds, loop libraries,
Mm-hmm.
producing and selling loop libraries. But I always, inside of myself, I thought, oh, I want to play the piano. I want to create piano music, and also one day perform this music in front of people. But still, I was feeling insecure about this idea. I'm thinking, no, I'm too shy. A couple of years ago, I started doing what they call it in English, self-development courses.
Right.
To
Oh, that's fantastic.
my shyness, no, and well, they work quite well. So now I feel more confident. I believe in myself, and I think I'm ready now to pursue this.
Mm-hmm.
The most important thing, because all of these people, the psychologists, and then the other people, the other books I read and everything, the advice was always the same, that you have to, what's the word? Taking action, by taking action. No? So
Mm-hmm.
I start doing that. I start taking action. No? So I start here in Spain. There are some places where you can play the piano. There is one library, and I start playing the piano. And usually, when I was there were maybe 10 to 15 people buying, reading, whatever. No? And I was playing my music. They were saying, "Yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice." So by doing this quite often, I start overcoming my fear to playing live, and then taking action. This is a more important thing, to take action.
Right. Right. That's incredible. That's incredibly encouraging. Yeah. And then you came to album number 2, Now the Silence, which from what I understand just came out this past, later 2020. So it's actually still circulating and making its way around the world. Some haven't even experienced it yet, but I know that you've had a large number of Spotify playlisters pick it up
Yes,
and use some of those songs. And some of the songs that are the most popular are the title track, Now the Silence.
yes.
Another one called Tollworth, which I'll have to ask you about.
Tollworth, yeah.
Alma, Blue Nights. And this is the one I'm most curious about. Tell me about this very young old man.
Very young old man. This composition is dedicated to my piano teacher. When I was 20, I took lessons with a private teacher, because I thought that private lessons were better for me. And then he was 80. I was 20 and he was 80, no? So he was 60 years older than me. But I stayed with him for 5 years until he was 85.
Mm-hmm.
And we really connect each other, no? Because, the difference was really, in age, was really big, no? 60 years, no?
Yeah.
It was really, when I was talking to him, it was like talking to a friend of mine, no? And he was an old man with a young mentality, So that's why I dedicated to piano composition to him, and I called that he's very young old man, because he was old, but with a young mentality, with a young spirit.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I'm sure all the piano teachers out there would love such a tribute, it's a very special relationship. Do you think you'll be able to perform in Spain or in Europe in the next, months?
Not yet because still there is the COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
And well, now some theaters, they are start opening, but well, now my main thing is I want to finish the album this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Once the new album is ready, then I will start thinking about first playing here in Spain because it's near to me, and
Right.
if I have the opportunity, maybe later, maybe next year, to go and play abroad, then
Mm-hmm.
of course I would love to do that. No.
Good. Well, I look forward to that, and that's something that I know a lot of people will welcome, and especially as you have such a great following already, in social media, and you'll be able to reach people. I do like Twitter as a way to, geographically reach people and to announce shows. So I wanted to put one of your popular Twitter accounts here. It's the handle @RelaxNewAge. And then you have a second Twitter account, don't you?
Yes, Spotify Piano is the handle, and
Spotify.
it's a beautiful and emotional piano.
Right. And that's similar to your Instagram as well.
Yes,
your Instagram is Beautiful Emotional Piano.
Exactly. And the same as my YouTube channel. It's called Beautiful and Piano, my YouTube channel.
Excellent. Well, it's such a treat to visit all of your sites all of the time. And we also have your Facebook page, of course, which is shown on screen now, and can be searched with Joan. And you're found with both names, right? Joan as well as Juan, depending on whether you're, in the US, what's more common, right? So I wanted to point out that people find you under both names.
Exactly. It's because here in Spain, people call me Juan, and abroad, they call me Juan.
You're going to be joining the Latin Grammy family as far as submitting your music this year for the Latin Grammy, and you've signed up with your company as a member of the Latin Grammy organization here in the US. So, yeah, good. Okay, and before we go, can you tell us anything, a little bit about the new album that you're working on?
So this album, what I'm trying to do is to make it a piano album, because the piano is still the main instrument, but with other mixed with other instruments. And then my idea is to make it more like an ambient album, because almost each piece there is only one solo piano piece that is just solo piano. The rest they have violins, female vocalists, and also synthesizers, no? And I have been working with a couple of producers that they are really good ambient producers, and they have been very nice arrangements. And for this third album, the idea is to create an ambient piano music album.
Oh, terrific. Well, I look forward to that. And I didn't really ask you too much about Now the Silence, but I would like to skip back to that for a second and ask you about the title. And of course, this coming out last fall has to do with the pandemic and how you were processing that.
We were all locked down at home, and then there was a silence in the street. I was going out on my balcony, and I was really thinking, wow, what a strange silence, no? It's really strange, no? Because everything what I mean, because you experience this, all the world experienced this.
It was haunting, absolutely haunting. Yeah.
Exactly. And then one day I was reading an article about the pandemic, and I read this phrase, "No the silence." I thought, nice, no? While I was thinking about this, the title, then I start composing a piano piece. It was at that time that the streets were empty, and then I couldn't get out of my house, and I was spending lots of time in my balcony, because this was the only thing I could do.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that silence because it was really strange silence. There was something different, no? And then I composed that piece with the same title, Now the Silence.
I think when we were in it, it was hard to see the scale. We were just feeling it. And I think you captured that feeling really well with this album.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, it was thanks to you because you told me to release the album physically. And then I thought, okay, you told me. And then I put them on sale, I think maybe 1 month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I am quite impressed because it's selling quite well.
Yeah. Do you sign them for people if they ask?
No, because actually some people, they ask me if I could sign them. No, but the thing is that I do not have them because it's a CD on demand service.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll be sure to have some on hand if you come to perform with us here in the US, and we'll be able to just sell them right at the show. Well, Juan, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been so nice to chat with you, and really appreciate your time.
Thanks for inviting me to your podcast. I really enjoyed the conversation. Very, very nice.
Thank you.